Hey guys, it's Nox. You're listening to the premiere episode of the Maybes. Hmm, it's a safe space for overthinkers and seekers of truth. Here, we explore the thoughts the world is too scary to speak. I'm honestly starting this podcast just to check it off my bucket list. And also, make my yapping useful for once and let out my thoughts because they be too crowded in there, dear neurons. So, I wrote a journal once where I described love. I talked about it for so long, used many letters and words. I detailed the whole thing, okay? My entire perception of love, the reflection of this, mind blowing trait. But lately, I'm starting to think that I'm incapable of loving someone. Ouch. This thought actually started 3 years ago when my grandma passed away. Before losing her, I used to think that I cannot bear such loss and pain. I felt like I loved her so deeply that her absence would fucking tear me into pieces. But that's not what happened. Like, God, I mean, yes, of course I was hurt and sad. I mourned her passing like everyone else, but exactly like everyone else. Yes, there are parts of what happened that still haunt me to this day, and I avoid thinking about that day at all costs. But I survived. Mind you, I lived. Not so long after the funeral. I mean, I had already moved on. But it's not like I blamed myself for that, but I was surprised, man. I'm still surprised. Because that was not how I expected myself to handle such tragic event. So after that, I just convinced myself that I was stronger than I think I was, than I thought I was. And, but the idea that maybe I don't love as deeply as I think I do never left for good. It was just buried under this mask of strength and resilience and whatever. But this year, the feeling came back stronger. Actually, well, it comes back every single time I'm scared of losing someone because my brain just goes, hey, you thought you wouldn't do good without grandma, but here you are, well alive. And the fear just disappears. And this year, I lost many friends, and some of them, were my fault, some weren't, some still persist. Whatever. My point is, whenever an inconvenience occurs, my brain fully goes, "Oh, it's fine. I can do good even without them. What's the problem here?" It's like the exact opposite of attachment issues, or I don't know, maybe is it me being attachmentophobic? As if love is an on and off button for me. When things are good and smooth, I'm on, but once something goes sideways, I'm off and gone. As if no relationship is worth fighting for and no one deserves to make efforts for. I swear I scare myself sometimes. Because how can I be fully into someone, but if we get into an argument, even if it's small, all the love and value I carried for them just in my heart quits my being like an unwanted guest, man. I mean, yes, once things go back to normal again, I'm on mode lover again, but why during the inconvenience I'm fully convinced that I don't have a damn, that I don't give a damn about them people? I mean, yes, it's obviously a defense mechanism, duh, but my perception of love isn't this. Love is not intermittent. It's not something that comes in episodes. No, like it's a whole new shape of your soul. As I always say, loving someone is giving them a special chamber in your heart. They occupy you literally. Their absence means you miss something, you miss them. You're incomplete without them. I mean, in French, they say, tu me manques, which means you are missing for me. Like, I'm incomplete without you. There's something missing from me, and it's you. You see what I mean? And that chamber I just talked about isn't like a fucking garage, you mean, that opens and closes depending on the circumstances. I mean, yes, the chamber can be closed, yes, it can be reopened, rarely, but it can be opening and closing repeatedly, like that's unsteady and psychotic. Love is about commitment and stability. It's not supposed to come in pieces or fucking crumbs. It's fulfilling and present. And so my definition of love does not align with what I feel towards people. And yes, I can go from loving someone deeply, or at least thinking I do, to be just totally indifferent about them. But here's the catch, I can never say I hate them, because I truly never hate. It's too heavy of a burden for someone whose chest is already like weighed down by anxiety. But I clean out. That's what I do. Once I'm over someone, I'm over for good. So, if moving on from someone is this easy for me, does this mean I've never loved them for real? And I'm not talking about romantic love. I'm not talking about falling in love and, all that romantic crap. Luckily, I've never fallen in love with someone. I like literally jump from one crush to another like a bee with flowers. Plus, well, the romantic love gets amplified with passion and attraction, so it feels stronger and like more intense. Unlike the friendship love or, family, that is unfiltered and plain. It's kind of simple, you know? Either you love them or you don't. But I don't know where I'm standing, to be honest. I came across a video that said nowadays no one is capable of love. Everyone is so defensive and protective. Like they just don't want to get hurt and they don't want to be generous with their spirit. They share the bare minimum under barriers and shields of fake personality and neglect. I mean, they're too weak and afraid to love. The only privilege that they give you is being the one they project their fears onto. Man, love gets mistaken for so many things. It's literally unfair to its truth. Like, why did it become a disease when it was supposed to be a cure? And when did it become a wound when it was supposed to be a healer? But I get it. Love in general, whether it's romantic or not, it comes with risk and sacrifice. It comes with pain and fear, naturally. Because loving means gaining something to lose. But pain and fear and jealousy and all the other unwanted guests only persist if you focus on the first part of the sentence, or the last part. I said gaining something to lose. If you focus on the last part and you forget the first one, when you forget that you already gained and won the love of another pure soul that matches yours, and like only focus on the roughness of the edges and like ignore the softness of the path, yeah, sure, love becomes hell instead of heaven. See, love is only for people who are brave and willing to do it all, knowing that their hearts might get harmed and wounded, knowing that they might be imprisoned in it for life, hopelessly, but they still do it. That's why I respect lovers. And like Love in general, this concept is pretty sacred to me, but I'm only obviously talking about the true one, the one lived and felt properly, not fucking silly games and chit chats. But here's the controversial part. Showtime, baby. I somehow managed to have a very controversial POV of love. I don't know if it's the freak or the genius in me who brought this perspective to sight, but ever since I discovered this, my life has never been the same. I realized that people have a very much wrong definition of love. I mean, when you ask them about it, they always, talk about the other person. Oh, I can't live without them. Oh, they make my life better. Oh, they are my soulmates. Oh, I can never imagine life without them, etc. in capital letters, literally, because it's a lot. They make love seem all about the them, the outsider, the stranger, the other person, when in reality, love is all about us, about the self, the I in the sentence. Love, well, hear me out. Love is a selfish act, sugar coated with love and sorry. My brother just came in and I got me confused for a minute. Sorry, what was I saying? So, reality is that love is a selfish act sugar coated with nobility and highness. Love is when you add an external parameter to your mood and decisions. Love is when you still honor your desires, yet stay humble enough to shape them around someone else. I said what I said. And let me explain. Just hear me out. All sacrifices and efforts made for the name of love and called altruism and are actually and solely about you and your interests. Here's how. Let's talk about two mothers. First one gave birth to a sick child. They needed a cornea transplant urgently. The mom, without a second thought, gave hers to the child so that they'd have a normal, happy life. The mom, too, was happy and content to see that her baby is healthy. Now let's go to the second mom, who also had a sick child who needed a cornea transplant, but the mom couldn't give hers to the kid. Now, you would probably say the first one is a superhero and she's a good mother, while the second one is a total failure and she doesn't love her kid enough, right? But I would say that both moms did what made them feel better. Both of them prioritized their own happiness and comfort in different aspects. See, the first one really attached herself to her child. She tied her happiness to the safety and wellness of her baby. So if she wanna be happy, she gotta make sure that her baby is happy. That is why I said love is when you still honor your desires, yet stay humble enough to shape them around someone else. The second one also prioritized her benefits, you see. The difference is that she didn't really tie her state to her kids. See, both mothers did what makes them feel good about themselves and be happy. It's just let's say the amount of humbleness that made the difference. If the first mom didn't do the transplant, she would be the one devastated to see her child that way. So she chose what was easier for her to handle. See, maybe now her kid is struggling more because her mom or like their mom is in that state because of them. But see, the mom did whatever made her feel better, right? Same for the second mom, who she too wouldn't handle being blind from like one eye or whatever, so she didn't do it. I hope you're following me. Okay, hear me out again. Let's say you're in a relationship and you keep saying, "Oh, I'm doing this for my partner, I'm making efforts for them, blah, blah, blah." And you manage to make it seem like you're a hero and you're a sacrificer when you two are just guaranteeing your wellness through your significant others. You tied your state of mind to an external being, so when you're giving them your energy and time and love, you're actually doing it for you. For you. You're making it work for yourself. Love is not putting others' needs before your own. No, humans sadly don't have that quality. They don't have that trait. Love is same as any other human concept, pragmatic and self-centered. But somehow we managed to make it seem like charming and seductive. So again, love is when the benefits of two people cross paths and then it ends when they diverge. After I came up with this conclusion, I literally could never see love or a lover as the same, and I even like disgraced it like my whole life was a lie. I mean, I pared it down so far that it literally lost its weight in respect. But still, just because it's about the self and not the other doesn't mean it's worthless and cheap. Because everything I said applies literally not to just all human concepts, but also all creatures. We're eager to, survive and we're down for anything to do so. So the fact that we share our hearts and another being is still quite honorable and decent, even if we do it for ourselves. So I really hope you're able to grasp the truth of love. So next time you want to love someone, know what you're going for. If all you're receiving is from it, like, is pain and suffering, then I'd suggest you wake up from that illusion and start playing the game, following the rules. See, love is to make you happier, safer, like stronger and eager to live. You gotta be winning too to call it love. It's not selfish and it's not. That's what love is about. The two people have to be happy, must be happy together to call that love. Not saying fully happy because, well, let me tell you something. When I say the word happy, I'm not talking about the feeling. I'm talking about the state of mind, being content, you see, being in peace. That's what I'm talking about. Because you can be in peace even if you have arguments here and there, even when you disagree with them here and there, whatever. But overall, you gotta be happy. So if it's toxic and it's poisonous and it's, I don't know, like traumatizing, like, girl or boy, run away. Like, because that is not love. That's not love. Call it whatever the fuck you want, but that's not love. So you gotta be willing to call it love. I guess I sound materialistic, but that's not what I mean. What I'm saying is, listen, if that love doesn't add something to you and instead it drains you, then you're in a stupid position, dear neuron. Evacuate immediately. Like, come on. Love and relationships run on mutual benefit. Ignore that rule, and the consequences will remind you. And remember, any lesson you refuse to learn will repeat itself until you do. So, that was me letting my thoughts about love breathe for a moment. I really hope you understand what I meant from everything I just said. Thank you for being here and listening. Please tell me what's your take about this in the comments. Don't forget to share, to like just speak to me, just like I speak to you, so we can be in a mutual beneficial interaction, okay? So thank you for being here and listening. Please tell me what's your take about this in the comments. See, this was my mind after dark. See you in the next thought. Bye bye.